Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook, standing here with our senior draft analyst, Chris James. And Chris, now that the 2014 NFL draft is complete, let's take a look back at the Washington Redskins to see how well the Redskins did this past May by handing out some draft grades.
The Washington Redskins entered the 2014 draft without a first-round pick and having to find ways to get better as a whole in 2014. And looking at the 8 selections they made, I think it's more than fair to say they've definitely improved. Now, what I like most about the draft is how they got better around RG3. You look at the skill players like Ryan Grant out of Tulane, who's a silky smooth route runner that's also fearless with great hands. Running back Lake Seastrunk was my #1 rated running back prospect in this draft class because of his ability to take it to the house from anywhere on the field, and reminds me a lot of Napoleon Kaufman, who played for the Oakland Raiders. Ted Bolser out of Indiana is a willing inline blocker, but is more dangerous as a flex player because of his route running ability and soft hands. And along the offensive line, getting Morgan Moses out of Virginia was a huge steal. He graded out as a first-round prospect because of what he can do on both ends of offense and because he can play either tackle spot. And I'm also a big fan of the 2 underrated defensive players they drafted in Trent Murphy, outside linebacker from Stanford, and Bashard Breeland out of Clemson, a cornerback. Murphy is a defensive player that's always around the football and always has the ball in his hands. That's my type of defender that you want on your football team. And Breeland is a good press corner with excellent technique and above-average ball skills. What I questioned about the Redskins draft was that there wasn't a defensive lineman that was added at some point in his draft. Outside of Jarvis Jenkins, there's a bunch of guys on that defensive line that's on the wrong side of 30, and it's important to keep this unit stocked with talent coming down the pipeline. Continuing to add talent for RG3 with wide receiver Cody Hoffman out of BYU, who is the perfect X receiver that can high point the football very well, and is also a very underrated run after the catch guy. Lee Doss out of Southern is in the mode of Ryan Grant, both from a skills perspective and also a production standpoint. He's yet another wide receiver in this draft class that definitely knows where his hands are. I gave the Redskins an A+ for their draft. Despite not having the first-round pick, this class is stockpiled with excellent talent. The biggest winner in all of this is RG3, as they have, at least in my opinion, armed him with some very good weapons and dependable options on the flanks, along with an excellent offensive tackle prospect in Morgan Moses to solidify the edges. And I also want to give a huge shout-out to Redskin fan forums for always showing football game plan support.